Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Like, Rumble's going, Twitch is going, Twitter is going, Kick is going. And YouTube's going. So it looks like everything's going online. Give me a moment to activate the live chat windows. Okay, live chat windows is activated. Oh, disable preview over here to save some computer resources. And give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. I do have one replay that was uploaded to Discord. What's it called? Deities of Death's Discord. So I shall do that one first. It's more likely to be a good one. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on top left side is the Blue Freyer. We have Solo Jabak only, whatever that means. Spawn on the right side as the somebody reason I lost track of the villagers. Spawn is the red set. We got Zodiac _ We got some cows. Gotta keep those doggies rolling. Cows do I think have a higher fattening rate as well. Actually, no, the fattening rate's the same, but they can store more delicious food inside of them. It's best to go for the resources on the field as long as you can. And speaking about food, looks like Red will obtain some delicious venison here. When it comes to relics, we do have the possible relic of the Anvil of Hepastus, or how you pronounce that. Army upgrades get minus 50% gold cost, which is, I think, a age 4 mythological improvement. That's a very good one. Trojan Gate Hinge. Walls have 40% hit points, which is situationally useful, because a lot of times for me, it seems like walls are either alive or dead, not really in between, but it can be very nice, don't get me wrong. Cathara of Apollo. Village gets plus 10% movement speed, very useful. And down south, we do have the Hectate's Torches, which reduces the cost and recharge time of your god powers. This is going equally slow. Red could try bringing back the venison, help him out. The DPS, the Berserk or the Ulfsark is 9, and the Pharaoh's being brought on forward to help deal with this. And it is going for heal round damage, which is probably a better option. So he will save the priest there. The priest, has a 0.6 DPS versus 0.9 DPS in Age 1. My apologies, I don't know their DPS is at Age 1 because, let's be frank, units are not usually... Oh. Set has actually aged up, I just now realized that. And bring in some spooky snakes as well as the Vision God power. Blue's just now aging up. Galen Bersetti is a divine hero type, not a myth unit, so these heroes will not do any bonus damage to them. There's the snakes. They do a minus 90% damage versus villagers, so they do approximately 0.5 damage per attack. Before hack armor, how much do villagers do have in hack armor? 25%? That's actually decent. Dwarves the same rate. Oh, I hear the Nubite biting some villagers. Got some good hits there, and we've got a decent menagerie behind the Nubite. Though, in my opinion, it's better to eat these animals. They're getting one shot by the town center. And that's actually delivered a decent amount of food to his opponent's doorstep. Particularly that doorstep right there, that house's doorstep. There's age up for blue. We've got a Valkyrie. The priest, of course, can do some bonus damage here. We also got a priest here to do some bonus damage here. The Nubites engaging the Ulfsarks. Ulfsarks do take out the priest there. The Valkyrie do take a bit of damage. He will need to boil another Valkyrie to get the Valkyrie healed on up. The hyena's a bit more the combat unit as opposed to the deers and gazelle. The hyenas do have a staggering 3.9 hack damage. Yeah, most of Set's animals, it's a nice little benefit. But it's... Oh, looks like the snakes are not classified as heroes, so the hussars actually got ripped... The Herseer got ripped apart by the snakes. That's a little bit of a gain there. The Valkyrie can stay back there and start hitting up these Herseers, and the Valkyrie's getting hit. And got a spam bot on kick. There you go. Got that removed from existence. And the serpents do go down. They're just migrating over to another delicious piece of venison, or in this case, elk. Is elk still considered venison, or is that just only deer? For me, all the extra animals, they're nice for defense, but I would advise to use them offensively, because they don't have much health to be meat shields, even though they have meat in them to be a meat shield. Yeah, I put very little value in the animals as set. I just use another food source, a free food source to age up with to get some, well, easy access to food. They do consume one population, so not like you can just keep them around forever, but of course the housing is free for the Egyptians. Husbandry just got researched by Red, so now the scouts are rounding up at the same rate as goats and sheeple. And these snakes did a lot more damage than I expected. I usually don't put much value into them, but they can occasionally pick off a single Herseer. Keyword occasionally. Do now have Red now playing out for town center, Pharaoh empowering it as well. We've got these doggies nearby. That's actually sort of the nickname for cows. I don't know how it came about. I know something involving cowboys. That's rolling. Gotta keep those doggies rolling. Rawhide. My dad listened too much country. It's not gotta keep those doggies rolling. Keep those doggies rolling. My dad listens to much country music. He's from Kentucky. He was a hillbilly from Kentucky. Flatwoods, Kentucky, and he made sure I did not to grow up to be like him. For example, he did not want me to be hitchhiking on the back of trains, for example. Yeah, or dynamite fishing. Yeah, when I say Hillbilly Lands of Kentucky, I mean Hillbilly Lands of Kentucky, that he made sure I did not to grow up be like him. Got the baboon of Set, the field of 93 delicious food. As well as got the deer of Set. It contains 150 delicious food inside of him. And these animals do full damage versus villagers, if you consider 3 or 2.7 DPS full damage. Yeah, I don't put any real value into the animals as Set. It's a pile of food that can easily be eaten, and that's it. But I probably should stop harping on that. Red's going for some Axemans because most of the composition of the Norse is infantry, which means Axemen would be very useful. If you're concerned about cavalry, spearmen, ready to go. Slingers have a way to can't be countered by Axemen or throwing Axemen, but they would be very limited in that aspect. So slingers should be something you should minimize, but not necessarily should take off the table as Egyptians. Axemen should be the good counter, but of course you have to be careful of the throwing Axemen, which also counts the Axemen, because after all, Axe does counter Axe. Since they're in the economic boom phase, or economic phase, I'm going ahead and fast forward a little bit. Got more Herseers and Valkyries. And more housing there. Overall, I think Chariot Archers is a pretty good option for the Egyptians versus the Norse. While they can't counter infantry, can't counter cavalry, they at least can counter basically all of the infantry. Barring, of course, the Gobi. I always forget the Gobi do also exist. They are, of course, not existing in Gold Edition. And remember as well, Extended Edition, the Norse got... No, it was the... One of these civilizations got a unique catapult variant in the Extended Edition. Was it Norse or the Atlanteans? I think I remember in Gold Edition, the Fire Siphon was basically a melee. It didn't have very much range to siege on buildings, if I remember correctly, and I think they turned into a ranged siege weapon since the destroyers also filled their aspect of close range siege weapon, like the Heliopoli or the battering ram, portable battering ram. Valkyrie raid here. Got a single priest here, not actually properly engaged. Got another priest here. Priest trying to smite the Valkyries. They're actually a bit more of a soft counter than Myth units, rather than a hard counter. Since their base damage is not too high, and the multiplier is high times 5, but with a low base damage multiplier, they're just only okay in divine damage. Red is now aged on up. Blue has queued up Ager. Red has aged up to Nephitus, which I believe gives you an upgrade to give you gold upon death for some of your units. Yeah, let me just take a quick look. I always forget some of the stuff. Set. Let's see, gold upon death. Here, priest work rate and priest and pharaoh bonus damage. You also get the powerful ancestors god power. You also get out 5 delicious giraffes, which contains 300 food. And the other animal is the crocodilio of Set. Which doesn't contain as much food. It's supposed to be more the combat unit. Lose quotation marks of combat. Blue has currently 1 villager queue going. Nope, does have 2 villager queues going. 2 town centers versus 2 town centers. Both players have skipped their safe town center and went for their opponent's not so safe town center. Spearman trying to stab the Ulfsark. There's also Axeman here. Need a bit more resources before Blue can age on up. Needs a bit more food, but pretty close to getting that.
Yo.
Yep, both players still just an age up phase, or not age up phase, the economic phase. Ager is now being researched. We also got a Horus being researched. So the Avengers are ready to be deployed on the field. They will spin to win. Also get the Twister. The more I realize, the Twister is actually a bit, not necessarily anti-structure, but more anti-army myth god power, since they can take out a group of tightly clustered infantry quite well. I think the Twister is probably one of the weaker of the god powers in Age 4, honestly. Excuse me. Because the counterparts would be meteors, implosion, lightning, Hera's thunderstorm, as well as inferno and earthquake, which those are more. Yeah. Twister, I think, yeah, like I said, is the weakest of all of them. Also, I wish they added a cheat god power. I don't know if they... I wasn't surprised if they actually did, because I never really looked at cheat code god powers. They need to add a Sharknado variant. If anime can do it, so can Age of Mythology can. The Warden Gate is being hacked apart by an axe. After all, it is made of wood. Blue's going for another town center now. Red has a decent force here, including a Scorpion Man and the Avenger. Destroys those wall segments, no problem there. Blue's making his advance, has 1 catapult for siege. The Scorpion Man only has hack damage, same as the Avenger. Oh, the Scorpion Man actually has decent base damage, but 38 DPS. The Avenger has 28 DPS. 600 health, 60% hack armor. You know, the Scorpion Man is quite similar to the Avenger, though the Avenger does have a far more powerful special attack, the Spin to Win. Ulfsark does go down there. Oh, that was a horrible spin to win. I guess he's very excited to see that Ulfsark dying. But now these Herseers hacking apart this wooden wall. You have a Migul stronghold being established for defense. We also got some watchtowers here as well. Migul stronghold still taking the time. We got some animals here. They're used, like I said before, and they also apply these with defense because they go down here. At least they can still be eaten. We also got some mercenary cavalry. Apparently when they die, they also apply a bit of a gold rebate. Not much, 8 gold versus 120 gold. Just a bit of a rebate. Got some Jarls from Thorfield. Great Jarls, that's the heavy Jarls. Avenger does spin to win. Here comes the Tempest. Gillen Besetti's been summoned as well. That's an HP Gillen Besetti. It's probably pretty useful. Got a Ancestor being summoned as well. I just find Tempest a little bit too powerful God power. The only way to nerf Tempest is not to make it so it doesn't slow down or apply any debuffs to heroes. Because right now the Pharaoh is quite slowed down. So Twister, but the Ancestor is being very useful. The Gillen Besetti has been slayed. Blue has been forced back. Got a pair of Migul strongholds before the defense there. Not bad idea. The Avenger is taking some damage. Maybe the Priest can take time to heal the Avenger in combat. And here comes the Twister. Twister does hold the army decent free. Maybe the Twister can be a controllable unit as a way to buff the Twister, because it feels like a little on the weaker side, a little less controllable. Sort of like the particle beam from Command & Conquer General, or the what's it called? Psystorm from Dawn of War 3. Or the rocks from Dawn of War 3. We do have some more spearmen being employed in the field. He knows his opponent's going for a heavy amount of cavalry, so that he's going for some spearmans. Right now they are medium spearmans, not even heavy spearmans. And we got some large number of portable battering rams, heavy huskarls being employed in the field. But she's fighting against not any range units, so I guess I suppose there's some chariot archers. The Avenger's still alive as well as the Scorpion, which is quite nice. Got a decent amount of chariot archers there. Portable battering ram is taking on the battering ram. Saves the catapult there with the priests. And now this guy's gonna hit there as well. The Avenger does spin to win once again. We got some delicious hippopotamus, or as Patrick Star would say, they're in fact giraffes. No, that was the elephant. Oh my. Massive number of great rolls. I don't know what upgrades these spearmen will have, but they need to be at least heavy spearmen. We've got some mercenaries spoiled in the field. They are also a variant of the spearmen. Those in the town center there. And those about spoiling oil has been researched. There's an army here engaging. Red's going to take some time to defend this area. Chariot archers firing over. Now the town center or settlement being built upon. Villagers migrated and have been pulled back from the gold deposit. And Red still has some gold here, not too much though. 300. More Avengers being deployed in the field. Very good idea.
Into you.
Copper shields being researched. He's not fighting against anything that involves range teams other than some vacation fortifications. I don't think copper shields or bronze shields is a really good idea. Blue does fall back there. Priest engagement got a nice spin to win there by the Avenger, killing off some of these units. That does have. Apparently, the Avenger can be affected by ballistics. I have no idea why he can be affected by ballistics. Improves tracking for ranged units. Apparently, ballistics just apparently affects everything. If it doesn't do anything, but I think they just don't bother trying to limit what affects what units get affected by bullets, because if it does nothing, it means nothing. When you're all going through, they have no bonus damage.
Good.
And Freya is still H3. A lot of spins wins here. Does use force fire there. Really take a bit of damage here. And these Avengers were actually pretty good right there. But they of course have gone down. Those are now 80 some villagers. Red is at 73. Farms, E-I-E-I-O.
In which? Into you.
We do have this upgrade on the Spearmen. A Spear of Horus, give them bonus damage and extra damage. So Spearmen are pretty decent. Yes, of course, we went for Anubis, which gives them Plague of Serpents, which does not include the Poison Spear, though the Poison effect is really not that useful. It's really not a great upgrade in my opinion. Oh, we just got incendiary arrows there. Very nice. We also right now have 51 pierce armor. Does have bronze weapons. Iron weapons just been researched by Red. And we've also got champion chariot archers. Blood control is being researched. Got heard another monument. Multiple monuments going up here for the set cost reduction. Wonder if I can highlight, see how much cost reduction. Nope. I always forget how much the cost reduction is. That's probably just 10%, isn't it? Still more medium spearmen needs. I want to see heavy infantry. We're now the age up here, going with Vidar, which is a self-propelled howitzer made by it's originally in South Korea. No, wait, wrong game. This is not War Thunder. Gives them access to the Fafnir, as well as the Inferno. Iron Shields doesn't need it. Ballistics course being researched.
Into you.
My apologies, give me more. Reach down and grab a drink. Miggle Stronghold now under siege. And got more marksmen out by Red. My apologies, heard my drink open up. We got some more heavy Jarls being pulled in field. A number of catapults here. Still, we do actually have heavy spearmen now. Very good. Watch if you have the champion spearmen. Does lose the Miggle Stronghold. We got another Gobi here, which are of course the range infantry there, which does make the pierce armor a bit more useful. Spearmen do actually move faster than the chariot archers, so they're a good unit to accompany the chariot archers, or should I say chariot archers would be a good unit to accompany the spearmen. We got some spearmen here, we got another tempest being summoned. Inferno is available. Here comes the Inferno. Also being summoned to hit over here. Takes out one of the monuments, got another monument nearby to provide a cost reduction to some of these units. Villagers did get hit pretty hard there. We got now the Serpent Spear gives that poison damage, but not that useful. Alright, his front line's broken. He's lost a lot of military units here. Not doing quick enough, in my opinion. Alright, anything else I can say objectively? And Red has now resigned. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. That was the only replay I had available. So let's go ahead and go on to some live games. Oh, did I lose some frames? Nope. Looks like some of my live streams on monitor may have bugged out. Got a replay here. I think this person's actually pretty highly rated. Yeah, decently rated. Above average. The problem is, too short of a game, so it's hard to tell if it's going to be a good game. Again, I would like to cast those players, but 7 minutes, I can't tell you that's going to be a good replay. Green Murderer. Has some spectating, but it's not highly rated. Let's see. Got a Twitch tag here. Decently rated. Wait, this name seems familiar. Alright, we'll keep an eye on this one. Well, I am curious about the long games. Could it just be outright noob game? Because they don't know how sometimes... above average. 1,000 starting elo, so above 1,000 elo mean they've probably have a positive kill win ratio. Long story short, lower ranked games can't go on for much longer because they don't know how to attack properly. Some of these names I just want to check out. Yep, and now let's go to this one here. Just a bit of my thought process. Just because it's a long game doesn't mean it's a good game. But if it's a long game with high rating, it's probably going to be a good game. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age Mythology replay. So on the bottom side as the blue Odin, got dope. And this is a 0-1, just this is the font format I ever so hate. Because that's a 0 and not a lowercase o, it's just a lowercase 0. On the north side as the red Hades, got Vicho Uglin. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Scout is stabbing these zebras and being annoying, like all scouts should be. They usually yell, "Need a dispenser here." Either way, when it comes to landmarks on this, not landmarks, relics on the map, we do have the Canopic Jar of Finesteti. Makes your infantry train 25% faster. That's actually not too bad. Got the Thunder Cloud Shawl. Gives your units a slight bit of pierce armor. It's not too bad. All useful when fighting Hades. Not useful when fighting Odin. Tusk of Dan Kang. Pigs. Free pigs. And we've got the Rhea's Crown. Makes your counselors cost less and generate a little bit of favor. I wonder if that affects village centers. Nope, either way. The guy also has townsfolk behind, so that's probably a decent relic for either player to grab. When it comes to the age ups, let's see. Odin's fighting against Hades, who's more of the range specialist. Heimdall does have the Inhari for multiple or an army multiplier. Undermines a pretty good H2 god of power to instantly destroy walls, towers. But that's about it. You got Inhari upgrades, which are nice. We got Tower and Centuries, which could be decent for defending against ranged units, and training research rate. Versus Freya, which gives you access to Valkyrie, which does include cavalry speed and hit points, so she's probably the better option, unless you want the Enhari and the Undermine. Versus, of course, Hades, who's aging up to Athena, which does give access to the Minotaur, leaving Minos for the Minotaur, Aegis Shield, which improves your Pierce Armor, which is not important for Hades, and Sarcio improves your Hoplites. So honestly, I think Ares would have been better. Though, nice, Hades does offer Restoration, which is a pretty good god power. House going on up, and we do also have the walls going on up. I don't think the village can get one back up here, nor the Minotaur is taking a long way around. They're just taking time to stab the wall and take time to chop down the wall or the trees. Oh, there is a room for the village to escape because Ajax just goes up and stabs it. Looks like there's not enough room for a Minotaur. The fact that Ajax got there knows he can escape. Valkyrie, push way forward, offer us less than 12 DPS. Valkyrie does have 375 health. Northern Minotaur is trying to break down the gates so Ajax can stab the Valkyrie. He offers 15. And now here's a Herseer. Looks like Northern Minotaur will be picked on off there. Ajax needs to turn around, does start stabbing the Valkyrie. The villagers needs to keep on running. Herseer stabbing Ajax, or whacking him. The whole Sark's also hitting Ajax. Sonar, the red. Ajax does nice little pop there. And looks like one of the ravens go down. Birdie, no! And of course, if Hades ever needs to, he always pops sentinels for a free round of watchtowers for additional defense. Probably around here. There's that wounded villager. Maybe was wounded by some big game. Achilles is pursuing the Valkyrie. Achilles at 5.3, while the Valkyrie does have 6. Scout here could interrupt, and is snaring the Valkyrie. Achilles will eventually get close distance. Let's see.
Yo.
Just Sark and Sonar. How do you pronounce that? That's a one syllable. How do you pronounce that? I'm poor pronouncing names. So how do you pronounce that? Sonar? The red? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Either way, for both players got additional town center. Odin can age up to Skadi or Njord. Skadi, of course, offers the Frost, which is a pretty good AoE lockdown. Frost Shrines are okay. They're not really I just find them okay. Of course, Frost Shrine upgrades, which of course an upgrade to a unit I don't really value all too highly. It's not super important, for me at least. Wood Harvest is a pretty nice upgrade. It makes your farms 20% more effective and all your other natural food sources 10% more effective. Very good upgrade right there. A Hunter's Axe. Give your throwing axe on +1 range and make them have perfect tracking, which is nice. Howdy. Yes, I know I have my back's not great at the moment. We got some hoplites here, stabbing the Herseer. Large number of hoplites on the field. And of course, for Hades age 3, got Apollo or Aphrodite. Both are actually pretty good choices. Underworld Pass is a pretty good god power, as well as Curse. This can basically stop another raid along with the Sentinels. Underworld Passes can be a great way to defend or to be offensive with. Manticore is an excellent myth unit. Neemline's above average, I would say. I do have a bit more bias to ranged myth units, and the Manticore offers pretty good DPS. Oracle, it's not super important, but a little bit of sight range is not too bad. Sunray gives your ranged units, all ranged, both myth units and human soldier ranged units, additional damage, which is pretty good, so it complements the Manticore quite nicely, as well as just Hades in general. And the little bit of healing is a great way to get some passive healing if you want to take time to micro back wounded units. Aphrodite, of course, does give you access to a pretty good villager upgrade, make them have higher carrying capacity, so it makes them generally a better collection for all resources, particularly for wood, and decent for food, since farms do offer a bit of traversement. Also improves some movement speed as well, which is also very nice. There's the Sentinels there. He will lose some villagers. Good pick there by Blue. Sentinels are only good to protect yourself from raids such as this, and not good versus armies. Ajax being focused down there, taking a fair amount of damage. More raiding cavalry. Hoplites here are technically accounted, a bit more of a generalist unit though. So you can employ them all against anything, and with the Athena upgrade, Soracia does give them additional range and damage. Large number of raiding cavalry, that's for sure. I was trying to queue it up, but it looks like he is eyeing for Aphrodite. And the other one is Golden Apples, which does give villagers more favorite generation at temples, so it allows you to get more mythological stuff. Always very nice to have. So Aphrodite is more or less a villager goddess. I suppose she is the goddess of fertility. So is Hera. They have a lot of overlapping roles, don't they? And love and beauty. That's the same as fertility. Didn't the whole Trojan War start the fact that the bunch of goddesses just got naked in front of man asking who's the most beautiful of them, all of them? Now that's a trap, a women trap if I ever heard one.
Reise. Etimos.
Raiding cavalry gotta be a bit careful. The gate is still existing there. Got a basic set of walls there, which would be useful for the village to stay alive with.
Πρόσταγμα.
And Aphrodite is starting to be researched. Nemean Lion's a pretty good support myth unit. Have an AoE stun. They will break down that wall, but of course got a good number of spearmen here. Or, not spearmen, hoplites. Bunch of angry men with pointy sticks. And we just need a little bit more food before New York be selected. Mountain Giant. I actually didn't cover what Nord's mythological upgrades were either. Focus is cavalry as well, so Odin's designed for cavalry competition, so it'd be a great idea to focus on hoplites and Prodromos. Another reason why they probably go for Ares rather than Athena in Age 2, because while Athena does offer a hoplite upgrade, increasing their range and their damage, Ares offers a divine damage bonus to both Prodromos and hoplites as well. There's the Saracia, increasing the hoplites' maximum range by 0.5 and also giving them plus 10% firepower. But divine damage on the other side is quite nice and would be more stacked with the Prodromos. Villagers getting hit by the raiding cavalry. Oh, Curse got all of them! So now these piggies can be... Oh, there's still one there. These piggies are going wee 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 all the way to their new home. My stomach. So this will get not only protect from the raid, but also give them a bit of food to work with.
Έτοιμος.
Hoplites heading down south, or just right there. Got a decent amount of longhouses here. So throwing axemen would be a good idea versus all the hoplites. We got some high passes being put on the field as well, which makes sense versus all the Norse infantry. Just be careful about all the raiding cavalry. Oh, got walking woods here. The woods are in fact walking towards the villagers. Okay, this one sort of looks stupid since it's a really short tree. They're primarily just cheap free siege units. They offer good crush damage. Hoplites trying to rotate around. We also got a shade mixed on in. Restoration being simple, which does also heal structures. Nemean Lion does stun the trees. Red's trying to fall back there. If we want to go take a look at Niord, does offer, let's see, Jarl, which is the heavy cavalry, raiding cavalry divine damage, and raiding, and of course you get your mountain giant, which is a siege weapon, and the walking woods is a siege weapon. So yep, we got raiding cavalry and Jarl upgrades. Nothing for general cavalry, but one specific for certain units just tend to be a bit more potent. We got some Ulf Jarls, medium Jarls being poured on the field. A large wave of throwing axemen, which makes sense. Got hoplites view. He should start eyeing for some Dromos to be mixed on in. I do, when it comes to the initial Greek gods, I do put a lot more value in the Ares. So I can't deny the effectiveness of restoration. This is probably one reason why many players probably go for Athena. Since Pestilence is nice, but definitely was nerfed from Gold Edition. Blue's advancement forward. There's still a blue gate here. We also got the Mountain Giant here. Achilles. Chiron needs to focus on the Mountain Giant. It looks like the heroes are focused on the mountain giant. Line gets a pretty good roar there. The reaction counters infantry. While the high passes does also counter infantry as well. And for Goldie on the field, gotta make sure you keep them a bit more minimum. They're more of an anti-myth unit. Line has gone down. Heavy infantry now on the way for Regs. Not some Peltas, a counter range unit, which I think at this point in time, Talk Stays would be better, since they'll be also good versus throwing Axemen as well as other units. While Peltas a bit more of a focused counter unit. Big round of medium Jarls and Goaties. Portable battery rams and Huskarls counter range units. He's the number of piggies here. He's eating the goats. The goats actually are pretty close to fully fattened as well, so that's pretty good. We also have Tyre being queued on up. Give access to the Fenris Wolf Brood, Berserker Gain, and Fimbulwinter. Over here, got the Hepatis. Hepatis is the Colossus Godfather. Gives you the Plenty Vault. Hades should just start stockpiling Favor to get out a second Plenty Vault. Costs 200 Favor. I wonder he may also have to take torches to make it even cheaper. That could be quite fantastic. I got the Knapic Straw in necessity, so I think the Hecate's torch was researched by... was picked up by Odin. But these favor costs don't seem correct as well. So I'm not sure. Bluesman Forest back there. Granary going down. We do have a palace or fortress now being established over here to protect the gold mine. There's also another gold mine there. Blue crystal. There's actually a decent amount of blue walls there. So I guess he sent over a couple of units to build those walls. Red's about to not be aged on up. With also the golden apples, there's a soft cap of number of villagers work the temple, which is 8. So maybe getting out 8 villagers on the temple, get the golden apple, and start trying to get some plenty vaults in the field, which would be very nice. His counterpart in this game would be the Fimbulwinter. The best way to stop Fimbulwinter is just simply hit the town bell and hide away until it subsides. And the Sentinels will provide a little bit additional defense there. Portable battery infantry forward. Hoplites trying to pursue these medium Jarls. Got a 20 volt summon. There's some various stuff being picked on off there. We do have crenulations researched by Red, very nice. That helps him deal with all the raiding cavalry. There's the Bronze Colossus advancing. The Colossus will take a bit of a beating. Walking Woods have been summoned somewhere. Where exactly, I'm not sure. There they are. The Colossus has been defeated. We do now have the Ring Giver giving Jarls more 20% increased health, and also gives them 100% bonus multiplier versus myth units. Oh, sorry, I just saw your comment. May have missed what you're referring to. You now have the Walking Woods engaging the fortified town center. Gain some damage there.
Skip.
The Hoplites get some good damage here, but we've got a decent number of defenses here as well. We got Huskarls being deployed on in. It looks like the Norse player is actually out of food. Has no villagers cooked up food at the moment. That's not good. Probably some idle villagers somewhere. They're collecting all that wood. He's desperate for wood and gold. That's why he's going for Huskarls. He is running out of steam very quickly. Going for throwing axemen, some berserks. He's out of food. Only has one dwarf queue going. Blue needs a... Blue resigns. He ran out of food and decides to resign, even though... Yeah, I guess he just resigned because he just ran out of food and couldn't transition to anything quick enough because he just wasn't getting enough wood in his inventory. Either way, this is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see if I don't see any of those high-ranking players still in the game. These names seem familiar. Keep an eye on that one. Let's see. I'm expecting this one. Highly ranked, but not long enough for my liking. So yeah, I think those games I were pretty highly ranked didn't last very long, hence why I didn't cast them. Let's just look around on some of these ones here. See decent length, higher ranking ones. This one's probably a good one, or a decent one at least, which is good enough for me. Yeah, let's just do this one. I won't last too much longer, and so I don't want to let it go to waste. There we go. Greetings everyone, and great here for another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the left side is the blue Hades. We've got Taparika. Spawn on the top of the right side is the red Gaia. We've got Tonga 94. Of course, we've got the Gaia Force God Power already summoned for additional wood collection. When it comes to relics on the map, we do have the Bridle of Pegasus. Gives you free Pegasus, which is pretty nice. And always a good idea to have some free Pegasus. Harmonis necklace. Give your villagers plus 10% gathering rate, which is very nice, of gold. You have Foz Scepter. Makes your farm sheer by 25%. Not bad, particularly for the Lanteans, saying how expensive their farms are. And Polygamon's statue gives villagers plus 40% hit points. So all those relics are quite nice to have. When it comes to aging on up, for Gaia, I'm more biased towards Leto. I do like the Spider God Power is actually pretty cost effective in favor cost. Automatons are excellent defensive unit. You also get a excellent upgrade here, making you another round of Pierce Armor, particularly useful fighting against Hades. And of course you get some Oracle bonuses, which also improves their full capacity for gathering favor, and it doesn't cost me favor itself, so that's a pretty nice upgrade as well. Leto is a good god power, minor god. And when it comes to Oceanus, of course, got the Carnivore, which is excellent defensive structure as well as offensive. And Kaladra, good healer. Weightless Mace is a nice counter cavalry unit. Fighter Shark is okay, plus 1% firepower, and I put no value in the bleed damage. And cheaper promotions is always quite nice. It is going for Gaia is going for Oceanus. I disagree with that. And we do have over here Ares. Ares though does provide the Cyclops. Pestilence is a good way to prevent production. The Spear of Panic, Volvo's Spear of Panic, gives your Hoplites, Militia, and Padromos divine damage, one whole divine damage. The Chronos and the Bow of Horrors give your Toxates increased damage by 10%. And also lets them fly quicker, so less overkill and deals the damage course quickly. And Demo's Sword of Dread gives you enables your high passes early, which is not super important in this matchup. Also gives the damage as well. So you get good Toxates, good counter infantry, and good counter cavalry in general. Blue's, of course, going for another town center. Red's going for a manor here. Got some exotic doggos here. Got a heroic oracle there. If you allow me to talk about Leto a little more for Gaia, the Spider Lair, it's a pretty cheap god power. And it's pretty cheap to resummon over and over and over again. I think the first recast is like 10 favor. It may not seem like enough, a lot, but 10 favor to call off 3 human soldiers is actually pretty good. A lot of times a myth unit doesn't kill 3 units. And this one, for example, costs 18 favors. So imagine a god power that guaranteed to kill off 3 human soldiers for 10 favor. I mean, let's just round it towards like a 20 favor in the form of the Cyclops. 2 casts is that. That's 6 human soldiers guaranteed to be dead. A Cyclops is not going to get that value. Most myth units are not going to get that value. I think Spider Lair is a really slept on god power. And don't sleep on it. As the spiders come up and eat you. And not to mention, it could be a good idea, like, you send your citizens to go gather off gold. Just throw some spider lairs around it. You think you're going to get raid? Throw some spider lairs around it. If there's a choke point on the map, just throw some spider lairs there. If you think you're... And it's going to be a little bit predictive, but there's a good chance your opponent will eventually find them. Got some various forward structures there. Got some barracks and an archer range there. My apologies as well. There's also a bit of an issue where I get frame rate issues around the Lush. I don't know why. Yeah, it's something I'm just going to say right now. My frame rate just take a dip around the Lush. I tried everything to mitigate it. I'm not sure what causes it. Got a manor now being established here. Oh, still got some eco phase. Both players are going for another town center, so let's fast forward a little bit more. Quadrant may took some damage there from HX. Nope, looks like she's at full health.
Skopos.
UG?
UJ?
Got some more walls being established here. There is a gate here as well. That's clearly a gate.
Correct.
Hades now agent of Aphrodite. Paul should mention what Gaia's age of possibility is. It is, of course, Thea or, of course, Rhea. So she's actually going to be aging up to Rhea, which is my preferred option when it comes to Gaia's, or the third H3 one. Gives you access to a very fun god power, the Trader. You get access to Horns of Consecration, which makes your Fanatics earlier, and that's a very powerful unit. Or your Calcum, what more hack armor, which combos quite well with more pierce armor from Leto, so you can get plus 15 total. And not say plus 15, it improves it by 50% whatever armor they already have, but still. You get remove all favor costs from all god power upgrades and get a rebate on them. And yeah, and that as well. Oh, we do have who's moving around. Hades H up to Aphrodite, which she does provide villager benefits. One, increase the carrying capacity for all resources and increase their movement speed, which is very nice. Another upgrade improves their favor generation at the temple. Not to mention, you get the Curse God Power. It's a good way to protect yourself from raids. Rhea is now being aged on up. Which a good target for the Trader God Power would probably be the Nemean Lion. Nemean Lion has decent amount of stats to it. Not to mention the AoE stun as well. Bit of crush jam to go along with it. Not the highest DPS, it's a good crowd control myth unit. Like any cat, just screams at anything it dislikes. Since both players are still in the economic state of the game, I'm going to fast forward a little bit more. And Hades aging up straight to Hephaestus will give you the Colossus and the Plenty Vault. Blue right now has less civilian population on the field compared to red. There is the Behemoth. 3 Caladrias in the field. We got Orichalcum now being researched there, a gold titanium alloy. Now aging up to Atlas, give X to Argus. I'm more biased towards Lampades, or Hecate, give X to Lampades. Also increase your attack speed of myth units there, and Lampade is a pretty good myth unit. And I do like the Tartartan Gate. It's a great way to deny trade. You just pop that in the trade line, whether it be at the start, end, or middle of a trade line. And then you got a lot of Tartan spawn just to cause so many issues. And then if your opponent takes time to focus it, and then you attack from the front. If they attack you from the front, put the Tartan Gate in where the trade line is, and you got a permanent denial. We do now have Perseus being queued on up, Toxdays, more Cyclops. Soon you have 3 Cyclopes. The Elder Cyclopes? Nope, just regular Cyclops. Sentinel's been summoned somewhere. Blue's going for another town center. Red's going for a large round on Marmellos. Behemoth taking some fire there, aging up to Atlas now. Oh, we got the new unique crossbowman, the Castro. Don't know how to pronounce anything. It's a pretty good siege crossbow. I think players should go for more often. Offers good anti-infantry. Oh, Trader on the Colossus. That's actually a really good target. I talked about Nemean Lion. Of course, now there's a Colossus in the field. The Colossus will soon be off the field. There's the Carnivora. Does each one of those units there. Marmellos, heavy Marmellos pushing forward. They do have the Serrated Blade, giving plus some firepower, and the pathetically poor bleed damage over time. Better than poison damage over time. Still not great. Nemean Lion does scream like any cat would. More high pass sneaking up to help counter. And going for a heroic Arcus archers on the front line, not a good idea. Perseus does go to petrify the Behemoth, but of course in Retold is not an instant kill like in Gold Edition. We got now the implosion there. I understand it's a very fun god card, which is why probably many players go for Argus. Does explode there, knocks down all the trees, and all the units now spread around everywhere. More Mills, more Arcus archers form the field. They haven't seen the Argus pushed on forward. Some Blues units are being picked up here. First there. So it spawns out a bunch of delicious piggies that we will eat while they do their new home. Pestilence not blowing the field, which slow down opponent's production rate by a fair amount. Got the Olympian weapons being researched. Improves Gastrophius' damage by 20%. Improves the unique human sword unit for the Greek gods. Is damage by 20%, which is quite nice. Over here we do have now the Devotees of Atlas. Fanatics get bonus damage and speed as per missing health point. Another Cyclops in the build queue.
Πρόσεχε.
Let's get Lord Summer Village on the temple. Greater than soft cap. Only one Plenty Vaults on the field at the moment. I always see try to rush out 2 Plenty Vaults. Because the second Plenty Vault only costs 2 inch favor, which is pretty cheap picks and accessible.
Πρόσταγμα.
Fortified Towns by blue. Force of the Fire Siphon. Gains some good damage on it. Got some Fanatics on the field, which are counter cavalry and counter infantry units. Another traitor hit on the Wind Cyclops. That's not as great. Probably should not use that there. See if the favor of something else. Carnivore does go down there. Argus taking some damage there. Argus does go down. Still got a good number of Harpists, but they're going down as well. Philiophili getting picked apart by the Parasite and vice versa. More Fanatics on the build queue. Oh, looks like they received a nerf. I thought they had ×2 damage. They got nerfed down to 1.5. To be honest, that makes sense. They were pretty powerful versus journalists. It's hard to apply a range-only counter versus them. Got some medium Contineris now forward in the field. Got a good number of Peltas, which the Fanatics will be more than capable against them. Fanatics are a pretty good generalist unit, while Peltas are a counter range unit. Another Hypaxis going for Divine Blood, also either Secrets of Titans if possible. I hear a lot of Shades being summoned. Sounds like we got a little bit lucky there. Shades are free and not super great, honestly. But they're free. We have some more Argus now being put on the field. And we have some Chafing Gastro Fairturos. How to pronounce that? I still don't know how to pronounce that. That's a lot of Shades. Ready to throw some shade at his opponent. Another round of Sentinels pull in field. That's generally a bad idea. They're not really an anti-army unit that encounter. I suppose against help protect against the gold mines not a bad idea for them. Also, you didn't get too many of them. 3 out of the 5 there. We now have the Titan Shield, giving destroyers a lot of extra pierce armor, making it effectively bulletproof. Oh, and Perseus does petrify the Argus. I think it's actually fully dead there. Yeah, actually fully got petrified there. One shot it there. Some Fanatics on the build queue. The Arcus archers don't have incendiaries just yet. Another Carnivore flow in the field. Does want to grab one of the clock stays. Carnivore does have a decent damage. Trader's something. Didn't see what though. Another Cyclops. Turned the carnivore to stone, but some of the extra tentacles were still firing away. That's interesting. Didn't think the carnivore could turn to stone like that. Relations not being researched by Let's go for some llama caravans, only one queue of them. Gaia does have a good amount of gold in store. Hades has a nice mix of everything.
Λέγε.
Oh, that's what he traded. He traded a Petrobolos. And he got upgraded to heavy Petrobolos. So that's what he used it on. I was curious what the trader god power was utilized on. Fanatics and Marmellos trying to pursue these villagers. Right, straightforward. Got a good number of pigs here. Get some of them back home. They're pretty much almost fully tapped as well. Argus does breathe some acid, or spit some acid.
Λέγε.
See that bit of bleed damage they're taking is hardly anything. That it takes like 2 bleed damage. Not too great. That's why I don't really value the bleed damage too much. Yep. Oh, definitely a weird fish. It's a tentacle fish. Probably from the deep sea. Deep sea is Japan. That's where they get that from. We do now have the fortified townsend take some damage there. Nah, definitely not frog. Got a good number of these catapults, petropoles before. Villagers idle here. And the Heliopolis engage in the palace now. Another behemoth on the build queue. Marmello is trying to take out some of these siege weapons. A good number of siege weapons over here. Got some Marmellos over here now.
Λέγε.
A mix of fanatics and Marmellos engaging some villagers here. Right now, red has 90 villagers, blue has 88. No more citizen build queue, so we're trying to just keep population high and going for some llamas. These llamas cause nothing but drama. More acid being breathed there, and the fires have taken some damage there. Archer range takes some damage.
Πρόσταγμα.
More units straight forward. Right now, Blue's having trouble remaxing. Go for more tox days. Has plenty of food. Problem is gold. Does manage to squeeze out another plenty bolt. Very nice. So got some donkey caravans in the build queue for blue as well. Just really trying to pump out favor on the temples. Gives a good favor generation. Plenty volts will help him with his economy. Of course, as plenty volts get more and more costly, it means that these villagers are spending less time gathering other resources. And right now is interrupting various trade lines. Now got the heroic terminal there to engage these shades. The village can just go up and shank him. Destroyers engaging these units there. Got more sentinels and all being summoned somewhere. Red must begin desperately trying to build more sentinels. Weightless mace is now being researched because it's got more mellows. Blue's course being cleaned up over here. Behemoth probably go straight for the fortress. Also, here is taking a bit of a beating though. A lot of defenses there. Blue is starting to stabilize. Blue has more military force field. Gaia's actually ran out of gold. Could sell off some wood though. Ooh, that's not good. Delete the armory or the temple there. The temple does have 2 relics inside. Just probably delete the armory to improve the traversement, though I think deleting the temple would be a better option. There's also a single tree that maybe cleaning out that out would help out. I'll delete the economic guild. There's also some of the way. More oracles in the build queue. Behemoth engaging the fortress. Behemoth does go down there. On the right side, got more units pushing forward, including 8 destroyers. Got some more minerals back here. Right now, the destroyers do also have 89% range armor, pierce armor. They only take 10% damage from these toxics. With the bonus damage, the toxics will probably do about 1 DPS to them, approximately.
Yuji.
Right now, pushing up here as well. We've got Behemoth advancing along with him. Now Perseus there, he may solidify this Behemoth to stone. And now blue's out of wood, or not wood, gold, not gold, food, but, and also pretty low on wood, plenty of gold. The guy is right now is low in gold. Does have, of course, a good number of llama caravans in the field. Perseus does solidify one of those units of stone. Didn't see quite catch what it was. You know, Toxa's back here. Hoplite is trying to beat Arcus archers. Blue is stabilized, but it's hard to say which way the game will still go. Both sides are queued up to Secret of Titans if they ever get enough resources for it. But I don't think that's a real possibility for either side, though Blue has a good amount of favor and has stockpiles of resources, so Secret of Titans could be researched. Another first one there, more sentinels. Getting a little bit desperate infusing sentinels like that. I think Curse was utilized over this since it's also pigs.
Topos.
Blue does claim some of these pigs. They are fully fattened, so they're quite delicious. Good number of mills on the boob queue. Gaia could sell off about 5,000 wood to get more gold, of course. Blue is making a pretty good comeback at the moment.
Yuji.
More Arcus archers. Verifier second now engaging over here. Getting some of these units. Behemoths push way forward. Blue's engaging some of these structures. Got some Arcus archers all full in the field. No Pelotas in the field. So right now just infantry versus infantry. Behemoths pushing on the flank. Chiron's not hitting the behemoths though.
Yuji.
And Secret Titans will be queued up for Blue relatively shortly. She's Literal War Wood. And Secret Titans is now being researched by Blue. Plenty of ults is starting to equalize the game for Blue. Needs that extra economic advantage. The Alphalite getting finished off there. Another Trader God card does hit the Heliopoli. More Toxins, more Hoplites, more Hypastis for Blue. Red sign for more mills and some terminals. And Blue has now reached the secret of Titans. You can now summon this Titan Gate. Yes, oh, and Blue's Titan Gate has been deployed in the field. Back here, not too many villagers collecting it up. Going to be ready to throw some shade as opponent though. I do see some relics on the map as well. Hoplites against Chronos. Red's having trouble defending. Blue has an army of 120 in the field versus Red's just 52. As Blue Line's front line starts expanding, or his reinforcement times, Red's reinforcement times will start contracting and allows him to get units on the field much quicker in this tug of war right now. More destroyers, so it's more of everything else here. Blue's still having trouble with gold income. Like I said, sell off some food and wood. We have now the fortified walls not being researched. Lightning Gate has another 2 minutes or 200 seconds remaining, which is far greater than 2 minutes. 3.5 minutes. Res optional on the flank, some destroyers and fanatics, very nice. Another round of settlers here. Protect themselves from this raiding force. The destroyers have high pierce armor. One village is trying to repair. It should be visible if I remember correctly. Is that I switch over to Gaia and go to normal. Actually, it doesn't appear to be actually exposed. Maybe not. I think Gold Edition does reveal it, right? Guess maybe not in Retold. It's all what Red sees the moment. But I should probably at least hear the sound effect at least. Titan Gate has another 54 seconds remaining, so in 1 minute there will be a Titan, a Cerberus, A three-headed dog, which requires three times the amount of head mats. Use it, does go ahead and trade her something. Trades this Petropolos, which sieges down this some of the stuff here. Even still rotating around, engaging everything, does have, of course, a bit of oxygen. Sentinels firing away. They do have crenulations after research. They voodoo supposed Contineris, which are guessing to come over here, which is incorrect. There's also more Sentinels here, so he's able to protect himself from these raids. Heading gate has another 10 seconds. Heading gate almost complete. And there is Cerberus, the three-headed doggo. This could be a game-winning unit for blue, of course. It does run at pop caps, the Titan does consume 20 population. Red's now going to fall back, and Red is going to resign. As Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Let's see now. See some Twitch tags. Sometimes some rating there we could take a look at. Wait, that was also another decently rated player. Yep, we can probably eye this one. 17 minutes. Let's see if there's anything better. Nope. Nope, definitely not. True, but at that point in time, guys was like, yeah, no chance I can win that. Defeating Titan without your own Titan, it's very difficult, though Elanians could probably do it the best. Let's see, I'm curious about the opponent's rating. He's both decently rating, so we shall do this one here. Good night, and get some good rest. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Mythology replay. Spawned on bottom left side is the blue Freyr. We've got Baunick. I think probably butchered that name well enough. Spawned on top right side is the red Oranos. We've got Vicho Oglin. Probably butchered that name still. Out of the way, when it comes to relics on the map, we do have the arrows of the Alfar, giving your buildings, defensive buildings, more damage. Not too bad, it's okay. Cheaper farms is quite nice, 25% cheaper. It makes it easier to transition to farms. Scales of Echidna does give you myth units reduced cost by 50%, barring favor. You need Pandora's box for that, and I highly recommend you should open it immediately. And Wuho Bow of Hung Di. Rain soldiers from human soldiers also provides a 15% snare. Comes to aging on up, Frazier does have access to Freya and Oler. Freya gives access to a cavalry upgrade of increased speed and hit points, as well as, of course, the Vulcan and Forest Fire. Forest Fire is okay now. Definitely got a massive buff from Gold Edition. And Valkyrie is a nice myth unit. You also get the Sassarumer, which that name well enough gives you hit points plus 10% hit point, heroes plus 10% hit points, and enables the Goldie early. First, the Oler, which gives you access to the powerful Asgardian Bastion, get early heal for it. The Draugrs, okay ranged myth unit. A little on the weaker side. H2 ranged myth units are okay, generally. Not as great as H3 or H4 ones. This Servants of Glory increase your Longhouse units with speed, which is not too bad. And of course, we are reduced the favorite cost of Asgard Bastions and earlier portable ramps, so we'll get some early siege. Oh, Orion's gone for early Oceanus, give access to weightless maze and bite of the shark, which improves gives your Murmellos and Fanatics a bit of bleed damage, plus 5% damage, and weightless maze improves your couple peltis speed. And I think maybe damage as well. I think just speed though. And they can get ridiculously fast, a couple peltis, the counter cavalry units. I think they get up to like what? 5.8 in total for Oron. Something absurd. You can make them faster than cavalry. And they also are supposed to be counter-cavalrying, so they're pretty good at bopping them. Freyja does go for Oler.
Erjos.
Claudia does take a bit of damage there. Quite a bit. Sky passes here. This safe towns of the will be obtained. Oracle will escape to the town center, or yep, there it goes, and does take up the Huskarl there.
Skopos.
Another Caladria there to heal up the Caladria, as well as the Oracle. The wounded Oracle Caladria can take time to heal up the
Erjos.
wounded Oracle, and the healthy Caladria can take time to heal up the wounded Caladria.
Erjos.
Who's not going for another town center here? Since both players in eco phase, that's going to fast forward a little bit. Asgard and Bastion there to protect this gold mine. Roger's coming for a recon pass. Yeah, we got another sky passage here. Carnivore has been summoned. Oh, looks like Carnivore's trying to siege on this town, this Asgard and Bastion. Roger should be able to heal. Oh, that's sort of weird. It is piercing arrows, and it does look weird right there. Roger Pierce cannot heal up the Carnivore. For Ronald, you can age up to Hyperion or Thea. Thea gives access to Dryads and Symphiline Birds, as well as some cavalry reductions and increase their speed. Carnivores gets a bit more melee damage as well, so cavalry focus in general, and makes improve your oracles, provide more favor among other things. Heard some shots there. The Apologist villagers taking out some fear. Or you get Hyperion, will give you also another source of favor of making all of your oracles heroic, which is one way to increase favor as well. Let's see. Hyperion's siege experience, that's not important. A heroic neural makes your heroes have plus 10% hit points and some health regen, make them a bit more durable, and you get a decent range myth unit in Chaos. Chaos is a pretty good god power. Hyperion's mostly used for Sons of Suns and for Chaos, but Satyrs are an option. They are, of course, mostly used for the Dryads, which cost 0 population, as well as some good Continuous upgrades. By the Shark doing research, frontline heroics as well, and some Cherry Ballista, which are counter infantry units. Freya is aging up to Aegir, get access to the Rock Giant, an excellent giant variant. Marmello's engaging. They do take a bit of damage there. They are just regular Marmellos, not medium Marmellos. Cherry Ballista is taking some fire. Of course, he is getting hacked apart by the Huskarls. Roger's healing up the Cherry Ballista. Sting does go down there. Another Cherry Ballista over here. And this will help him win the fight. Of course, got a Draugr here to still causing issues. Oracle is inside of the Sky Passage. Oranos has not queued up his next age up, but he is going for some more oracles. He's eyeing for some favor. Couple barracks there. No great halls, just longhouses. Got a short house over here. And another sky passes and collecting some delicious venison. The Oracle is heroic, so can defend itself versus the Wolf Sarks, but not as a great DPS. Roger gets an excellent heal, and there as well. Does go ahead and impair both of those Huskarls. Marmello's having trouble keeping up with them though. More Marmellos, more Cherry Ballista by Oranos. Nope, just heard a lot of guys getting inside a sky passage. There they are. Clicking on some delicious venison. Looks like he's trying to collect up stuff, but having trouble. And now he's collecting something up. Ager now being researched. Oranos is somewhat close to aging up. Ager does provide these upgrades, does provide the, of course, the Rock Giant, Granite Maul to improve them. Feast of Renown gives your town centers and fortresses a bit of food generation, as well as some AoE health regen. Very nice. 9 ways make your heroes and siege weapons move faster, increase the all damage they do, make them pretty good, particularly with Ballista. And of course got Kraken stuff. Who doesn't want more Krakens? Allstock does go down there. We do have Hyperion now queued on up as well. The frontline heroics and of course the Hyperion could see some heroic play by the Atlanteans.
Tilbúin.
Got a big number of heroic chariot ballista here, very nice. This one has gone for a good number of throwing axemen. Huskarls are countered range units, but also technically countered by chariot ballista. Throwing axemen will be countered by chariot ballista, as well as the first here. Draugr will also go down to the heroic chariot ballista as well. Got some good number of basic walls over there. And looks like this gold deposit may be seized by red. Some satyrs being researched as well. Oh, shockwave. The force now being built. Heavy infantry by Oranos, as well as heavy range units queued on up. I just realized there's only one citizen queue. Was that on purpose? Maybe he queued up the age up in this one. Right now, only one citizen queue going forward. He has more village than his opponent, so I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe it's on purpose, not sure. More hill forts being established now. Chaos God Power can be very useful. Of course, it's been reworked from Gold Edition. Gold Edition made the Chaos units permanently Mother Nature, but now it's just a timed effect, I believe. We do now have a Tempest here. This could be time for Chaos right on top of those Throwing Axemen. Red's just waiting out the storm, the Tempest. Tempest has, and does use caster right there. Throwing Axeman will do bonus damage to Throwing Axeman. Carnivore now summons backline as well. Will be focused on by the Gobi. When the Throwing Axeman does do something. Does lose the Palace there. More Arcus on the build queue. And the Granite Giant could be focused on the Rock Giant by all these heroes. And good number of satyrs in the backline as well. They simply just offer good damage. They offer 20 DPS, 18 range. Just a good backline unit. They're nice and simple. They just throw spears. They have also 50-50 hack and pierce armor as well, so quite resilient. Got another hill fort being established here. Ready to counter out with some destroyers. Draugr does get some damage there. And that Draugr squad is still the same as the original, so it finally goes down. Falls back there with the feast are down, just get some good AoE healing. Chaos Social right now does offer cost 60 favor, but does give another satyr there. If you would have kept that favor up and going, you can cast another Chaos Rapier to help you win the fight. More mellows as well as some bronze armor, very nice. I think he has skipped the pierce armor, which is very good, though there's a good number of gobies there that warrant some pierce armor. He has gone for copper shields. Definitely should be the last priority. Scrolls get cleaned on up there. Crenellation's being researched by Blue as well as boiling oil. Or murder holes. No watchtower upgrade for red just yet. Of course, got these portable rams here. It is liking some melee damage to deal with them. More metals being distracted by the throwing axemen. Argus archers should probably focus on the throwing axemen. What's he doing now? Those lose the sky passes here, and Blue's not going to attack over here. Took too long to focus on the battering rams and not on the throwing axemen. Now allows him to get hit over here. More Huskarls and Goaties being researched by Blue. There's it's definitely a good idea to help deal with all these ranged units and be reasonable versus the Huskarls. And then we'll go to here. Got a number of satyrs. And Oron's has enough favor for another Chaos God power if he so chooses. So another portable battery rams is good thing to see. Good thing to see. Blue's going for a good number of them, and he's been quite successful. Since it's focused on for mostly range composition, the portable battery rams have been quite bullet resistant. 90% range armor, of course. And now I got some more containers now being put in the field to properly counter them, as well as the throwing axe on the Huskarls. Cherry Buster are siege weapons, so they have less than 99% crush armor. Portal Battery Ram has 1 health remaining. Townsend being rebuilt over here, sending a lot of those to build it. He only has one Townsend and not 1 villager queue going. And right now he has less villager population than his opponent. As well as less max population, of course. Blue could eye for another Asgardian Bastion if he so chooses, but he may just save his favor up for another Tempest if he so chooses. Another Carnivore at point of view. Carnivores have good melee damage, no good crush damage though. Arcs Archer's now engaging, got some Huskarls engaging. Nice Chaos God power there, which gives Red some breathing time. Tempest is not though. Another towns are now built. Looks like the building's taking a lot of abuse from the Tempest. I didn't realize you can attack buildings that hard. Another sky passes over here. He could get inside of the withdrawal. There's not really sky passes. Oh, there's sky passage right there. Argus are just getting hit by multiple things. The blue does withdraw from that area. Towns are getting hit there. Village citizens doing up north, and red is going to resign there. This is Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to next replay. Probably have enough in me for one more replay for tonight. Let's find a good replay. Good ranking, but of course a little bit too short at the moment. 3 minutes in. I want longer. Could do him again, but let's try to find someone else. Way too low. Nope, that's that player again. A little bit too short of a replay. I suppose we can always do him again. Replays of decent length. Oh, yellow. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age Mythology replay. So on the bottom right side is the blue Hades. We got Taparica. I don't know how to pronounce it. So on the left side is the yellow Kronos. We got no Brainure. Hades, of course, is the ranged god of the Greek gods. Blah, I cannot speak right now. Of course, he has access to Athena or Ares. Athena does give access to the Minotaur and Restoration. Restoration is probably the most powerful thing about Athena. H shields can be quite nice, increasing your range armor, which is always quite nice to have, as well as give you a hoplite increased range and a bit of damage as well. Range is not too important, but extra damage is always quite nice. Well, Ares is my more preferred minor god for the Greeks. Give you access to Pestilence, which is okay god. Cyclops are quite nice. But what I like about him is his upgrades. You get 3 very good upgrades. You got the Spear, Phobos Spear of Panic, giving your Hoplites and Prodromos 1 divine damage. You of course get the Demios Sword of Dread, get high passes early and give them plus 50% damage. And the Bow of Horror gives you Toxic increased damage by 10%. Also makes them fly quicker as well, which means, I don't know exactly what it exactly means, but it could result in less overkill, which can be quite nice. Also got Prometheus Arcudon up by Kronos, which will of course provide its more hero-focused minor god. Give access to the Promethean and deliver prey for the Promethean. Reduces the promotion time, which is by 75%, so wasn't very quickly, and make your citizens plus 20% more effective at everything. It's quite powerful. As time shifted the temple forward, looks like he's going to do a Promethean rush. And here comes 2 Prometheans ready to roll. No Bob to support him out, but here comes a Promethean. Immediate time shifts the temple way, so nice little bit of harassment there. It does get some good damage there. Forced to pop out the Sentinels nice and early, which help protect themselves from raids. 80 Sentinels is basically free watchtowers. And of course, you can take this time to either expand, age up, or go for more aggression. Ajax, of course, is the counter to the Myth units, but in Age 1, he has pretty low base damage, but still has an excellent multiplier, so he's reasonable versus these guys. Now the Age Up is complete. Now he can smash through these Prometheans. Almost one-shots the Promethean Offspring as well. And looks like Ares, or not Ares, Hades will save all of his villagers. Our Achilles now pulling the field, trying to chase down these Promethean. Very nice. Another Valor Power. Not sure if you use on a Citizen or Oracle. Both be quite useful. And there's the towns up there as well. Using also the Chrono effect, the Temporal Scaffolding. About the production of building that unit. Citizens, they're doing their part. Shank the scout down. And Blue's now building his own towns as well. So since we got an eco phase, I'm just going to fast forward a little bit.
Bureg.
Goats have been discovered. And our killers will deliver a relic to his opponent. It is the Bow of Hung Di. Give a snare effect to your ranges, which is pretty useful for Hades. But down here, we've got Trojan Gate Hinge, increasing walls hit points. I've got two oracles here. That's not very good. One relic has been claimed here. The Ankh of Ra provides a small trickle favor. It adds 0.06. It even just rounds out, combines together. Very nice with the passive 0.01, which will effectively give him another Oracle of Favor generation. It's always quite nice. The Zadok Goggles going down. They're not filled with too much delicious food. Metal is now pushed forward. We've got a arch range barracks and of course a town center. This won't accomplish all too much. Cyclops here is also an excellent way to defend against Mermellos. He's now aging up with Aphrodite. Give access to the Cursed God Power, Divine Blood, and the Golden Apples. Golden Apples improves your favor generation for your villagers at your temple. Divine Blood improves their carrying capacity as well as their movement speed. Very nice. And Nemi Line is, of course, a cat that screams at anything it dislikes, like a normal cat. Protoss, of course, can age up to either Hyperion or Rhea. I prefer Rhea. Trader God Power is a pretty fun God Power. You also get Ori Calcum, improve your hack armor. Rhea's gift removes the favor cost of all mythological upgrades, as well as give you a rebate on the favor. Horn's Consecration give you early fanatics. Okay, Hyperion does give you access to Sons of Suns, which is also another Oracle upgrade. Hero hit points and regeneration. Inquisitor for a good backline combatant. And Chaos is also a good counterpart to Trader. Rather than converting one permanently, you temporarily make your enemy, a group of enemies, just be angry at each other. Kronos has a lot of wood stored up. Looks like he's going to. Looks like Hades had sort of locked down with farms, not really trying to collect up some delicious venison or deer, or not deer, zebras. I cannot think right now. My mind's turning to mush right now. Mermello will grab this relic. It does give a Shungun's Orca whip, improves the economic upgrades of the relics by 5%. The farming upgrades, which is very nice. Plus 50% collection rate from a relic is very nice. The counterpart is Black Lotus, which is a flat 10% gathering rate from farms.
Scopus?
Yellow's going for a large number of Mellows. We've also got some citizens being heroified, being sanctified. They shall do their part. Basic walls there, good for a early market to get a bit of early trade going. This will be the better town site for it. If it does not deploy out walls, it will also corral them in a safer path. Large number of barracks now employed in the field. Got a Pegasus here flying about. Medium Marmellos deployed in the field. And Kronos is not on the age up. It's going... not sure what he's eyeing at the moment. Being aggressive with medium Marmellos. But we just got Ajax and Achilles. And of course the Sentinels. Sentinels with 5 bit extra defense, plus the Fortress as well. While I would say Sentinels are good against raids, it's a bit more than raid, but the Fortress here will help out as well. We got Sentry Towers still. May want to go for Watchtowers. Oh, Deconstruction. Excellent. I forgot about Deconstruction. Great Deconstruction deployment, but Hades will get a full refund. And we also got the Nemean line here to scream at the Marmellos. Large number of heroic citizens, and now got Hyperion now being pulled in the field.
Skopos.
Marmellos in very good numbers. Nothing to stop the Cyclops and Nemean line effectively. Nemean line has 30% hack armor. Cyclops is 40%. So they do both pose a decent amount of health. Cyclops actually have a pretty good amount of health. No Sentry Towers, and we do have now Hepatis now being reached to give access to Colossus and Plenty Vaults. He's going to try to save up 200 favor to get on the second Plenty Vault as well. I always think that's an up. Godfire should actually rush the second deployment. Cyclops and Nemean line now trying to counter and defend. Not much surface area around that Sentry Tower, so make it hard for the Marmellos to take it on. Medium infantry now being researched by Hepatis. Heavy infantry being researched by Kronos. As well as Sons of Sons and Heroic Rejuvenation. Oh, we got the square formation. There's heavy infantry, but a Colossus could be a great way to counter the force. I don't know how effective a Colossus versus medium or heavy Marmellos. Guess we'll find out soon enough. And Yellow has gone for 2 more town centers now. Blue is just locking himself down. Yellow's expanding, trying to be aggressive. This many Marmellos in the field, definitely good idea to go for Hypastis and or Toxidae. Default has been summoned. Kronos has quite a bit of resources right now. Hades is a little bit low in resources. Oh, massive round heroic units there.
Burek. Yuji. Skopos.
Heroic Marmellos now advancing. The Sentinels, I believe, are not classified Mythians, so won't see bonus damage from the Marmellos. However, they don't have too much health to begin with, so that doesn't really matter all too much. No sentry towers. I think right now sentry towers are good. He's going for the temple. That many heroes in the field, it's not really worth to go to the temple. And shades popping up won't really matter much versus all these heroes as well. Military academies being established, going for go for some Hypastus. Right now they're heavy Hypastus.
Burek.
Well, we're seeing a decent amount of health regen here, of course. Oh, got all of these guys up here. Another round of Sentinels. Like I said, Sentinels are also not very good versus armors, only good versus raids. They can easily focus down, but looks like Yellow's just going to run by them. But I still don't think it's worth it to pull out those Sentinels. I think Blue's getting a little bit desperate in this case. He's time shifting some boons forward. Got military barracks, and military barracks. Enemy line does scream at the Marmellos. Big round of heroic Marmellos. He's going. This force appears to be almost fully heroicified. Just leaving 5 of them not heroic. It's quite a force there, that's for sure. I passes the important field. I understand the Hoplites, a good generalist infantry unit. Hoplites right now offer 10 damage, while the Hypastus does offer. Oh, that's a Peltast. Don't go for Peltast. Hypastus does offer a 7.5 a slow attack speed, so. But they of course have the times 5 multiplier. Pretty sizable chaos god power, but the Fox is now engaging. Looks like they're hitting the Marmellos. Chiron gets a little too close there. Got of course pick to Colossus. Colossus could be cast to eat some trees. For a bit of help. Of course, testing will slow down production of these units to a crawl. The Colossus has gone down. There's way too many heroes there for Colossus to do much. I think Colossus should have been tasked on structures, not even bother fighting the actual fight itself. Lou has one since he had a proper counter force. Got some medium Contineras. There's an explosion there. And also you'll get Blue's entire army, but Yell's our entire army face down as well. It's a good damage there. Most of those guys, of course, got sucked into oblivion. Or should I say Skyrim? Got some research here. Bow 4, plus 10 damage on the Hoplites. As was Hobo Spear of Panic, giving his Hoplites plus 1 divine damage. It should make them even more effective versus the Contineras. This upgrade does also affect the Prodromos, so he has even more effective counter to the Contineras. Also got this upgrade here, which improves his unique crossbone, which is more of an anti-structure unit, but still a good backline support unit, since it can hit all targets quite well from very good range. Catapults push forward. Honestly, I think with Hades, better go for the unique crossbone than the Petrobolos. Since the unique crossbone leads to be a very good generous unit. Curse has been summoned. There's the hidden upgrade. Deconstructs the fortress there. Chiron needs to focus on the Argus. And now he's eating some Contineras. Argus has gone down. And we also have the incendiary arrows burning pitch for Blue. So now his unique crossbone has like times 23% multiplier versus structures. Which just sounds absurd, but remember, it also does still do pierce damage. Leads the Atlas, Titan Shield, more Marmellos. Who's now counterattacking, trying to take out some of these structures. Anvil is trying to build towns up there. Very nice. He is down by... was down by 2 townsers. Now just down by 1. And get that one built. It will be even. Got the golden apple there. I wonder how delicious golden apples are. And they're a little bit sweeter side. I prefer the green Granny Smith apples. The red delicious are not half bad either. That reminds me of the philosophy experiment. Some people can't imagine an apple in their mind. For me, it always, when I imagine apple, it always comes to my mind a red delicious, which is a bit not necessarily round, but more of a soda bottle shape, or that sort of shape. Though I can imagine the Granny Smiths as well as a small yellow apple as well. Heart of Titans now being researched, as well as the Masons. Of course, got these piggies here. You can send them all the way to their new home. They're filled with a delicious almost 200 meat. Another 20 vault has been established. Stone walls by blue, coinage. Blue's making some good counterattack. Yellow just went too heavy, focus on Marmel's been nice and shooting as well, but if your opponent sees these mono type composition, he just only needs to pull the counter to it, and you'll be just fine. He has playing some Argus Archers there, but Talk Stays will still be a generally good choice. Not to mention, these Hades Talk Stays are quite nice upgraded, though he did not go for Apollo, he went for Aphrodite. Apollo could have gotten plus 20% additional damage, which would have been very nice, but still they're pretty nice of Ares. Argus Archer is a bit more of the range. Another Chaos there, very nice. Didn't seem like it lasted all that long. It lasted shorter. Argus Archers are nice and all, but they mostly are meant for an arc that has a bit more range to them as their style. Got some fanatics being pulled in as well, which are of course anti-infantry as well as anti-cavalry. Yellow's really focusing the heroes. After all, he went for both Promethean and Hyperion. He also got all this health regen in between combat, which is very nice to have as well. At this point in time, Blue should just stop booting hoplites and just go straight to Hypastus. Well, he's going for some Contineris now, which Prodromes would be quite nice, and Divine Damage would make them a bit more generous. The hoplites wouldn't be half bad in that situation either. Nemean Roar of Ulthris, so he's going for the Nemean Rex's upgrade. Gotta remind myself what that upgrade does. Click on a Nemean line when it pops up. Ace have gone for a second Plenty Bolt, which is very important. More Hypastus, more Toxace queued on up by Blue, a full counter infantry composition. And for siege weapons, I still recommend his unique crossbowing. Since they have absurd range, they'll stay nice to save the back line. Something being time shifted forward. We also got some forward structures here by Blue. If it deletes his previous temple, the shades will spawn over there. Blue's just going for some donkey caravans. What? That is okay. That's a palace. In the time shift next to the market there. That is a bit of a gamble, but I think it's going to be a very good gamble. He's trying to go for the Secret of Titans. We do have now the fortress now being established here. I think as well, his season's points go for heroic composition. The Titan's not going to be super great against the heroic composition of his opponent. And yeah. I think you delete the market there, so Donkey Caravans immediately move to a different location. Another Chaos God Power. This one's pretty good. Does go and subside there. Got multiple fortresses for fire support. Got a Heliopolis here. Immediately gets ripped apart there. Destruction right there. Time shift forward as well. Turns between all his God powers. He has a good amount of favorite energy. Takes his sons to sons. And he has currently 7 oracles in the field. And his heroic army is very high quality. He's able to punch well above their weight and numbers. And Blue has 100 civilians in the field as well as Donkey Caravans, so his military count's going to be a little bit lower. Got a good number of shades being brought in, but they won't do much for us, these heroes. More hoplites, more back passes on build too. Yellow's reinforces quickly forward. And Blue's Titan Gate got deployed on the field. And another round of Sentinels somewhere. Gotta be a little bit desperate there. Sentinels right over here. The Heliopolis needs to be countering that fire set as quickly as it can. But of course, they can counter each other. Both sides sending more and more reinforcements there. Right now, Hades is running low in gold. And not so great in wood. Does of course have 220 volts in the field. Kronos is low on gold, has plenty of food and wood. Got these units being brought in from this palace, including some fanatics. Got some forces heading up north to defend against this. Not sure where the Titan Gate is currently at the moment. There it is. Titan Gate's being built there. Has another 2 minutes remaining. The force is moving right forward. That pile should be cleaned up relatively soon. Blue has a decent force here. Pretty good counterattack by Blue. Managed to hold on. Both sides are struggling with gold, of course. But Hades has a better golden come. Takes his early caravan transition, not to mention 220 volts. To give him enough gold to keep him going. Kronos is having trouble. And there are some golds on the map as well. Both players are clean. Well, that one's cleaned up. And Yellow's cleaned up that one, which is quite important. Got some shades here. Was not flowing from right there. Not.
Legend.
To give him a handful of reinforcements. Of course, it is quite a bit of heroic forces, so those shades will have a bit of trouble. Got a watchtower here to keep watch. And these Donkey Caravans don't have a great trade path. It's not great at all. Yellow's pushes way forward for a counterattack. More hoplites. He is going for his unique siege crossbowman. And looks like Yellow does back out the game. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay for tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching.